Three, two, one.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Welcome to the Pulpery Sportscast with Brock and Ben. This podcast is where we discuss the sports headlines that intrigue us and those little stories that enrage us.
So, are you ready for some football? That was it. Apparently, the 9-person text message string that I was in. Are you ready for some football?
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing.
It lasted about 2.5 quarters. I turned it off before the fourth quarter when it really got bad.
Yeah.
I think they scored 21 points or something. But you could tell about halfway through the third quarter that Brian Kelly had no fucking clue what he's doing. None. Close game. LSU controlled the game, went for it on fourth down about, 700 times. Although, in his defense, you should be able to pick up a couple of yards in, 37 plays that they ran inside the 5.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, whoever's never mind. All the fucking talent on that team, you can't get 2 yards. Fine, okay? Rust, first game of the season. They came out second half, and I swear to God, I don't know what happened. That coach for Florida State, nobody knows. Who the fuck is this guy?
Is that Norvell or something like that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, he's been slow burning by Brian Kelly for the last 4 years.
So, and needless to say, it was like the deer in headlights. Like it, and the shock on his face, like he had no clue. Like, what do you mean, man? I had all this shit done. We're good. I can go beat them. Fuck. But that's not the problem. The problem is when you start digging into Mr. Kelly's resume. His CV.
Yes. Oh, enlighten me. Paint me a word picture.
So, here we go.
Oh, wait. Lest we forget, I spent 10 years agonizing over this fucking man.
Assumption Unit. He's from... Of course
he's from Massachusetts, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where he gets the southern drawl from.
And he played linebacker.
I mean, wouldn't that make sense? I mean, the guy breathes and his whole head turns red.
So he went from his playing career directly to a coach. Doesn't tell us any... Jesus Christ. Here, this tells you everything you need to know about him. He was at Notre Dame for 10 years.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
And LSU now, too. Bowl games. All right? He's been to some bowl games. He will not win you one.
He's been in a national championship.
7-5. Jesus Christ. He's won a Division II title. The MIFC, whatever that is. A MAC, a Big East title.
If Notre Dame were in a conference, there would have been a few years. Like the year they went to the national championship, he would have
gotten all that.
But
Central Michigan, what a 4-7, 6-5. He ended up with a 19-16 record.
Yeah.
And then he stumbled up to Cincinnati from there.
Right.
Let's see, what did he say?
And I mean, he put together a good resume at Cincinnati that got him.
Cincinnati was. You're absolutely right. He went 34-6.
Yeah.
Well done. But I don't know who you're playing in Cincinnati.
But I mean, that was before
09.
I mean, you could credit him with he brought. I mean, where the Bearcats are now, what did we say last week? Where did they moved up into a conference?
Oh yeah, they joined one of the.
They're not in the Big Ten, but
the ACC, because it seems like everybody's joining the ACC at this. Yeah. I think our attorneys have an offer on his desk right now to join the ACC. So yeah, he got hired.
He kind of got that start. Like he brought them back on the map from where
Well
wherever they
done.
were.
Well done. Okay.
But that was enough to get him hired at Notre Dame. After,
And he stayed at Notre Dame for a while. Notre Dame is stubborn as fuck.
Well, so yeah, but that was after they went through coaches like
Oh, yeah.
babies go through diapers. So
Yep.
they were in that moment where they were like, well, we need stability in the program.
That
and
sounds
then
an awful lot like Juventus.
yeah. So and of course too, all we had to go back on was really the Cincinnati days.
Right.
And so you're going like, oh, well, this guy's already proved himself. And so we would just get there.
Yeah. Now, his
And-
overall record, 92-39, solid.
Well, and
It's the just getting there.
and that's where I think in terms of, I mean, I don't want to speak for the whole fan base, but with like Notre Dame was
The Camping World Bowl.
the national championship year. And we're going into that game with one of the
Was
top.
that Mateo?
Yeah, Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
just put his name into one word.
yeah.
Fair enough. You knew who I was talking about.
Yeah. It's either that or I have a buddy with his last, we call him Matea. So it's like,
No.
what are you talking about Justin for?
Nope. Talking about your linebacker who got catfished.
Yeah.
He played for. He was in New Orleans for like 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anyway, go ahead.
but that year,
Yeah.
Notre Dame's coming in with one of the top ranked defenses. Granted, we're running into the,
A juggernaut.
yeah. But like,
Who
same
was the
as.
quarterback of that Alabama team?
Oh, that, I hate Alabama, so.
So do I. I'm an LSU fan.
But
Got kids that go there. God damn it.
But it was embarrassing. Like Alabama just ran right over a top-ranked defense, and
Men against boys.
yeah, I mean that's the way it looked. Whereas like all year Notre Dame, the defense, I mean the offense was okay, but the defense was stout. And then they go into that game, and it was like they hadn't trained or practiced,
Completely unprepared after a
watched
month.
any video or anything like that. And so that's when.
Another thing about that game is the failure to make adjustments.
Yeah, see, you're seeing the themes.
You know,
appear.
like they kept getting burnt on. And I know it's a defensive coordinator as well, but you're the head coach. You got to fucking say something. And
You hired that motherfucker. Like that's
dude, there are fucking holes all open their zone defense, all over the place, and nobody went, maybe we should do something.
well, even if your coordinator's not making the adjustment, as a head coach, you need to go to your coordinator and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Right. Can you see they're just doing the same thing over and over and over
Yeah.
again? Exactly. And then we're dropping more people in the back, and they're still doing it, and then now they're gashing us on the ground.
So that the part I thought was funny, from my standpoint.
It was embarrassing, by the way. I'd like that
Yeah.
LSU got embarrassed on national team. The first high-profile 2 top 10 teams. It was like, here it is. They got fucking stomped.
Yeah. And predominantly in the, I mean, like you said, they were in it going into halftime, and then after halftime, it was just all Florida
And
State.
technically, they were. I mean, they had the edge. The field was tilted in their way. They just do what the Saints do and go for it on 4th down and then miss field goals and shit. But yeah, I don't know what happened after halftime. And then that's what he does.
Right. So that's what I thought was
But then
funny.
he'll go out and beat Alabama on the road. That's what he does.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, last year's Alabama team was not. That was an Alabama team in transition,
Correct.
and that
They still will be this year. I
right.
just think Florida State's not. Where are they at?
Well,
They're in
now
the top 5 now.
yeah, they're Florida State's 4 now. So
And LSU's the highest one-loss team.
right now, yeah.
That is depressing. 1 spot above K-State. Wow. The powerhouse.
But one of the things I thought was really funny was going on Twitter, and first there's the LSU fan base, and I could say as a Notre Dame fan, we feel your pain.
There's
And
a
then-
theme.
But then, like, all the Michigan or all the Big Ten fans being like, Notre Dame can't get over it. Like, no. So here's the deal.
Now you have two schools.
Well, there's
Really?
that. But so, like, Brian Kelly vamooses in the middle of the night. Like, no warning, nothing.
No, he just...
Like, I even think the Notre Dame AD found out on the news that Brian Kelly had signed with, like, LSU. It was like that.
So,
And so...
I'm not going to go down a fucking contractual...
No, well, I mean, and Brian Kelly and his... I mean, he's just so good with the media.
Charismatic as hell.
Says that he couldn't win at Notre Dame because of the high academic standards and, you know, how they divert money to their academics and not to the athletic program.
So he went to LSU, one of the most corrupt.
Sure.
He was like, man, they will get me anything I need.
Sure. So that's one of the things that Notre Dame fans are marveling at, is that we were warning for the last five or so years, we're warning everybody about this guy. Of, you know, can't win the big game, doesn't make adjustments, just does enough. Like, he would be a great MLB manager. Like, he might get you a wild card spot.
He'll win you 87 to 94 games a year.
But then you lose in the first round
and
of the playoffs.
then you'll win one game in the playoffs. Yeah.
So...
But he's Buck Showalter.
And so now, like, he even though he says he loves his time at Notre Dame, he still shits on Notre Dame, and he goes to LSU where they roll out the red carpet, right, give him a blank check for everything, and you get in a high-profile game one, and you do the same exact shit.
A year after you overachieved.
Right.
It's not like you were, which, again,
he did the same thing in Notre Dame. His first season there with several recruits from Charlie Weiss and that program.
God, I forgot Charlie Weiss was there. Good Lord.
I tried to forget that.
Well, you should. You should men and block that shit or erase it out of your brain.
He's too big to forget.
He can't fit into another job right now, apparently. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But he did the same thing. Like, it comes out like Notre Dame does really well. I mean, not enough to get into the national championship conversation, but well enough to where everybody's like, all right, here we go. And then it's 10 years of that, of just like, oh, we're
this
good.
This is
and then
it.
You just drop those key games that get you out of the conversation. So
that's what LSU does. But they like to do it early. The past 2 years, we've gotten beat. I think Florida State's beaten us now back to back.
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, because last year we missed an extra point.
Yeah, because... But the previous 2 years but he's played Florida State the last 4 years.
He should have played them more with Notre Dame, huh? They weren't a yearly thing.
But I think it's been like 4 years in a row he's coached a team that went up against Florida State.
And they lost all of them, right?
No, well, he won the last two at Notre Dame. They beat him bad, like, you know, his... or whatever, 4 games ago, and then it was close, but they won a squeaker 2 or 3 years ago, and then they lost a squeaker last year, and then they got stomped. So that's why everybody's throwing out the Bowden quote of, like, you know, you lose big, lose close, win big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you're Nick Saban, we're just going to step on your throat.
Which is, and I'm not going to sit here and gloat because
you shouldn't.
Notre Dame has not played a top program yet. That's coming up in a few weeks, but
well, remember last year you lost your first 2,
right? So
and everybody was really they wanted to march your boy out the state. I've had to tread lightly there, bro.
Yeah, but
they wanted to run him out of town.
But that's what I love about Freeman is that he's putting himself in a position where he's not calling all the plays all the time. They even have, like, he doubled up on coaches on the sideline.
He's a wonderful human being.
He's a very attractive man at that, too.
And he's got a really good
I'll just say that. Yeah.
That quarterback. What did I send you last? What was he doing?
He was doing the chug and dicks on the sideline.
Oh, I forgot we got cameras now. Everybody's going to see me doing that.
We want to take this time to thank you for supporting the Pulpery Podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms, so please follow us and turn on the downloads. You can always delete them later. If audio is not your thing, we are on YouTube. Check out our page and hit the subscribe button, like our episodes, and share with all your friends. Follow us on all the socials for our latest content and additional takes on the latest stories and news. If you need a change for your taste buds, go to thegdsauce.com and change the way you think about the way you eat. From their signature goddamn sauce to their ghost pepper sauce, they have everything you need to rethink condiments. Help support an independent business by getting rid of your same old condiments and boss up with the goddamn sauces.
All right, real quick, before we get into our young boys discussion. That sounds gross. Juventus won. Chiesa scored an all-world goal. They're sitting in third place in the league.
There you go.
Awesome. Pogba played fantastic, and he hurt himself.
There you go.
There it is, right before the international break. He will be back after the second transfer window. I mean, I don't know when.
That's if he doesn't fly off somewhere to go into a yurt and fix it himself.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to go to fucking Germany and get that platelet shit that they do and then come back. Fuck. Whatever. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Fucking Paul, motherfucker. God, I was rooting for you so much.
I think he's at that stage. So,
although Romelu Lukaku joined
yeah,
Lukaku joined Roma with Paulo Dybala, they're dead last in Serie A. They haven't won a match.
There you go.
Because it's fucking Romelu. You rub your your stink on Dybala. You fucking. All right, now to the Yankees young guns, the baby bombers.
There you go.
What? So, did they... we talked about this. They have expanded rosters earlier now, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck... How delusional do you have to be that, let's say, the trade deadline, you were out of it? So much so that you really go out and do any business, that you bring these fucking... There's only 3 of them. And
right.
They fill holes that we need. Why not bring them up?
I mean,
instead
that's
of rolling, Aaron Hicks' corpse out there for the first half of the season, and Rizzo, who his brains are scrambled or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And I get that our pitching's bad. I'm not talking where we'd be in the playoffs or anything like that. But
well, I mean that all depends. I can speak from the Bird standpoint. I mean, particularly in the early going of the season, even after you could bring up the kids and they're not going to get their service hours.
Yeah, I was going to go to service time. So
yeah, service time. Thank you. Is like there were a bunch of games, particularly like Adam Wainwright, who's just trying to get to 200 wins.
Yeah,
and
how close is he?
I think he's still 2 away. But I mean, his confidence is broken. But in some of those early games, he was losing by like a run.
Right.
So what would it hurt if they're not going to get enough service time to qualify for full-time status?
Right.
Bring them up, and then you maybe in those 1-run games they go the other way.
Yeah, because these kids don't care.
No.
They're just up there to play baseball.
Right.
Awesome. Here we go.
And that's before some bench coach gets in their fucking head about launch angles.
This computer screen tells me that you're doing something
right.
wrong. And after he goes 3 for 4.
Why aren't you catching the spin rate and then?
But coach, I just
launching it at a 60-degree angle at a velocity of 145 miles per hour. That's what we're working on. 3
RBIs and 4 hits. What are you talking about? But yeah, that's exactly it. So Dominguez, the Martian, as it were, I'm dead serious, is batting 300 over 1,000 OPS.
That's okay, right? I mean, that's no Joey Gallo numbers, but
now Volpe and Cabrera, I said his name right. Their averages aren't there, but their defenses.
Sure.
And Volpe's got the first rookie with 20 home runs and 20 steals or something like that. A first rookie in a while for the Yankees. So yeah, look, Peraza has a double tonight. Oh, okay. There's just, oh my God. All 3 kids have been involved in all of the scoring tonight, other than DJ LeMahieu. They are up 3-1. One of them has a home run. One of them has a double. Two of them have RBIs.
Yeah.
Of the three kids that I'm talking about.
Well, I mean,
and it's been like that since we started them and swept the Astros.
Sure.
I think we're on like a 7-game win streak. I fucking hate these kids. No, I'm kidding.
But
so, yeah.
But young blood also spurs the veterans. So
right. Stanton hit his 400th.
Yeah. It took him a while.
Like 400 years. Jesus, man. He's another one of those guys. We'll be paying him like Bobby Bonilla, and like,
sure.
When my kids are my age.
But like, you take, I mean, I get, Aaron Judge is a veteran now, LeMahieu's a veteran. But if they're still the young guys on an aging team, they don't have anybody to captain. But if you got these young kids who then get them excited,
and have the. So Judge is
there's
borderline.
All a weird
1,
layer of
2,
subtle
3, 4,
rapey talk going on here, but yeah.
Half the 9, the lineup, are kids.
Yeah.
And then you've got Judge DJ LeMahieu, and we're still trotting out Stanton. Oh, and Wells. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about him, our catcher. Mustached.
The moustache.
He figured it out. If you're going to go to the Yankees, you better have a solid mustache game.
Well, yeah.
And some swag. Oh, look, they scored again. And it was Aaron Judge this time.
Well, I mean,
we're not going to make the playoffs.
I don't want to say it all. Well, no, but I mean, you are too big a hole. And
hey, man, mathematically, we still got a chance.
Sure. But then, like, do you want to go up against
Nope.
the Orioles in the first round?
Well, it wouldn't even be them. It would be Toronto or Seattle. Or maybe even Houston in the other wild card, which would be chef's kiss.
But, like to what you're saying, you look at the Orioles, you look at the Mariners, what have they done? Well, let's bring up the kids.
Texas is the same way, and now they at the trade deadline, they're adding the veterans.
Right.
Yeah.
That used to be how it was done.
Yeah. Philadelphia did it, and they added Bryce Harper and a pitcher. I don't remember which one. And then they went to the World Series.
Yeah.
Oh, and they fired their manager.
Yeah, because that's his fault. Oh, wait, no, yeah. They fired the manager mid-season.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which
that's
was
one of the few times that's actually really worked.
Well, I mean, I think if you're going from Joe Girardi to anybody else, it's an upgrade. I think that's.
But that's that's the point, is that these guys with their binders don't know how to handle or manage young talent.
No.
And so when you bring them up, they fuck them up in the head. Whereas what the Mariners organizations figured out, the Orioles organizations figured out, like, let's find a guy, like, essentially, let's get a little league manager in here,
right,
who knows how to handle young kids and begin developing them.
And then tell him once a week with a binder that here are some stats that you might want to just look at.
But then you need the manager to go, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
That's why I'm saying here, you might want to look at these. You could throw them away if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need. I don't need 6 guys behind a computer screen telling Anthony Volpe that his launch angle's off.
Or how to structure your lineup, or
fuck you.
Who to call out of the pen.
Eat dicks. Here's another thing. Champions League. We'll get to that real quick. Juventus isn't in it, which is a little depressing.
You'll live.
I think I will. I really do. I'm actually kind of looking forward to watching the Champions League.
Without having to...
Without...
Sweating your ass off.
Yeah, without being angry. Like, I'll pick a couple of these teams to watch and follow them through the group stages.
So here's my question about Group A. Is Bayern still... Because they've been up and down the last couple of years.
Well...
But this year it seems like
they've added pieces.
Yeah.
But they lost Sané, too. I don't know. I'll have to look. And it's early in the season, but...
A bunch of German teams have been making a bunch of... in the transfer window. Like, they've been siphoning...
But they do their good business.
Yeah.
They're not going out there and buying, like, the next Lewandowski or anything like they
No.
did. So, I don't know. Manchester United is Manchester United, so we know that. Did you notice that they got beat this past... I'm not going to miss the chance. They played Arsenal this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I watched it sitting in my car waiting on fucking soccer matches in a desert. And it was a tie game until like the 80th minute or something. They put Harry Maguire on in like the 70th minute. Arsenal scored 2 goals. Was it 2 or 3? Maybe they were losing 1-0.
He's a national treasure.
They brought on the best player in the world. And
How dare they take away his captaincy?
okay, so that's that. Sevilla, they always win the Europa League.
Right.
So, I don't know. Arsenal's still Arsenal.
Right. That's
And again,
theirs to
watching
win.
them, they're good, but they don't scare me. Napoli, we don't know yet because they're not doing much. Or Real Madrid, although Real Madrid's midfield is bonkers.
Yeah.
When you have Luka Modric on the bench, something's awesome there. Like it's a party in there.
I think they're in that year where, that they can like let Benzema go.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, put Modric on the bench because it's like, okay,
Here comes-
our young boys.
You haven't seen this yet, but
Yeah.
watch. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They they won the league last year and they went deep in the Champions League too.
Yeah, they did. But like I could see this year because it is a bunch of like the guys they've been building over the last 4 or 5 years that the pundits are going to sleep on them and then they run the table.
Have you seen their new park?
Yeah.
Oh my Christ!
With the retractable field.
Yeah, and I think they put that in. They retrofitted it around the Bernabeu as it is. Like the stadium is still the stadium.
Yeah.
They just upgraded it and put that fucking pitch down there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not gonna. It's gonna be like Soldier Field. They're just gonna keep putting saucers on it and shit.
Well, that's like every house in New Orleans.
Yeah.
All right, next group: Benfica, Inter. I could care less.
Benfica.
You know what? I'll go for the Portuguese side. Good on them.
Or this could be Salzburg's year. You don't know.
Fuck Inter. That's all I care. This one is interesting, with Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, and Celtic. Celtic.
Celtic. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
They're not from Boston.
Yes, we're not singing a Mighty Mighty Boston song. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm interested. Feyenoord. Where would that be? Sweden.
Yeah, so one of these teams had to knock Ajax out.
Oh yeah, maybe they're okay. And then we get to the group of death, which will be fun. PSG, Dortmund, Milan, and Newcastle. Although Newcastle, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't think they won one match and they've lost 2 or 3 on the bounce.
Well, yeah, them and Chelsea are saying money can't buy you happiness.
Fuck no. I don't know anything about Milan yet.
PSG went through that, and now they're reaping. They've been reaping the benefits of that. So they might be on the rebound.
They're either going to suck really bad, or they're going to sneak up on people.
Yeah.
Man City, who gives a fuck about that group?
Dortmund's do though. I'll say that
they're always there.
Yeah.
I think last year they got knocked out by one of those surprise teams because there's always a surprise team that makes it to the knockout.
Yeah.
And one of them always ends up in the Final Four somehow. Don't know how it happens. Luck of the draw.
So the big question with G is, can Man City pull off another treble?
Yeah. Although, you know what? I'll pump the brakes knowing that De Bruyne is hurt and out for a while.
Yeah.
But the kid that's playing now, I don't know his name. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be okay.
Imagine that Pep had a backup.
Oh, he's probably got another $400 billion midfielder sitting behind him. And we're done. Man City wins. Woo!
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery is a privately produced podcast by Brock Ryder and Ben Grimmie on social media and photography by Beck Ryder, original music by the Heisenberg Compensators.